See, observe this one. So we have done the Excel automation.
ఎక్కువ ఫోన్ సౌండ్ అలాగే వస్తుంది.
In the Excel automation, basically we have read the data from the Excel files, and then that data we have stored in the data table. Okay, the data we have stored in the data table. So, so whatever the data is stored in data table, so I want to perform some operations on that data table by using data table related activities. See, observe this one. Go to the studio. Go to the transaction process. Data table activities. Click on that open main workflow. Remove this flowchart. Drag a sequence. Set as start node. Right now, I will go to the project panel. Go to that file explorer. Here I want to create one Excel file. Sample is the Excel file. In this Excel file, I want to take the data. I want to take 10 rows of data in this Excel file. Right now, SNO, yes name, yes total, 101, 102. I have taken 10 rows of data. Say I have taken the 10 rows of data. See, initially I will read the data from the Excel file. That data I will store it in. I will store the data in data table. So observe this one. In UiPath, so if you read the data, if you read that table type of data from any other source in the sense, so Excel having the, in Excel we are storing the table type of data. Okay, sometimes, so you maybe get the data from database itself. In the database also, so in database also, you will get that table type. Database also, we are storing the data in table format. Okay, so that's why. See, sometimes if it is required, we can read the data from database itself. Sometimes I have a one web application. In that web application, so there is having the table type of data. That also we can extract it. Okay, see, if the data is coming from any other source itself, okay, so data may be come from any other source, but finally the data will be stored in UiPath in data tables only. Okay, so we are reading the data from different sources. We are reading that table type of data from different sources. Finally, the data is stored in data table format in UiPath. Okay, just you have to remind it. Right now, to perform that data table related act, to use that data table related activities, just I want to use that Excel data. I will read the data from Excel, and then on that data, I want to use that. So data table related activities on that. See what exactly the data table related activities. Right now, no need to remind them. So simply type that data table. So observe this one. See, these are all our data table related activities. All are data table related activities. See, here we have a update row item. Very recently in 2021, this activity added. Very recently added this update row item. Okay, see, observe this one. So we will discuss all the activities right now. Okay, see, already my table type of data is an Excel file. First of all, I have to read the data. So right now I want see, once if you done that in just once if you solve that any expression, the result I am displaying that message box, right? In the same way, I want to display that table type of data in message box. I will try it right now. Okay. First of all, we have to read the data from Excel. So that's why I want to use that read range is the activity. There is a workbook read range, drag and drop. Click here, select that sample file, click on the token. See, go to the properties. In this properties, I want to remove this range, click on the token. So I will store the data in data table. So here I want to create that output property that is called as control K var dt. See, observe this one. Go to the variable panel, remove it, the main scope. Right now, observe this one. I read the data from Excel file. The data is stored in var dt. This is the data table. Right now, the table type of data, I want to display it in message box. So I will try it right now. I want to drag one message box, drag and drop, var dt. Observe this one. Actually, see, I want to try to display that table type of data in the message box, but it is showing that data table. See, observe this one. A message box so can display that simple, that means ordinary variables, whatever the result is there, that only it will be displayed. But the message box, it doesn't support uh, data table. Okay, so it doesn't support that data tables. So that's why it is showing that data table message. So right now I want to display that message table type of data in that message box. Right now, observe this one. If you want to display the table type of data in message box, use the activity is called as output data table. Output data table is the activity, drag and drop. Output data table is the activity, drag and drop. Go to the properties. In this properties, we can add that improve properties called as var dt, and output property is called as string. So click here, Control K, var string. Observe this one. This variable is created with string format because output type is called as a string type. Go to the variable panel. Okay, I want to change the scope, main scope. Observe this one. The output property of output data table, output property is called as var string. That only I want to display in that message box. Var string. Right now, click on the debug. Observe this one. So if we want to directly display that data table, not possible. But by using that output data table, we can convert that table into string type. After that, we can display that table type of data in the message box. Okay. See, right now it displayed that complete all the rows of data in this message box. But based on my business need, so I want to read that row wise data. So right now I want to use that another activity to display that row wise data. Right now observe this. See here, whatever that my use case name also. So see my workflow file name also, I want to change it here. Click here, right click, rename, output data table. Okay, right now I want to read that row wise data. Save as. If you want to read that row wise data, we have to use that activity is called as for each row is the activity. For each row, click on that save. For each row is the activity. See right now I want to remove this output data table and message box. We know about that for each activity. The for each activity, it will read only say arrays, list, and then dictionary. But for each row activity, it will be read the data tables. In that, see, it will be read that so row wise data from that data table itself. See right now, I want to drag and drop for each row is the activity. For each row is the activity. Drag and drop. Right now, the read range output property is called as data table. This data table, I will pass it to this for each row activity. Right now, var dt here row wise data. This is the for each row activity is also called as a loop. It will be read that row wise data. That data is stored in that current row. So right now in this body I want to display, I want to use that one message box. By using that I want to display that result. Okay, drag and drop. See right now current row dot item of item in the sense column. Yesterday I have explained. So data table column index will be starts from 0 ends with n minus 1. Okay, row index is also start from 0 ends with n minus 1. Here in this for each row activity no need to find that row index, so automatically it will be increase that row indexes, but column index only we have to specify it. Right now current row dot item of 0, current row dot item of 0 dot toString plus, just I will go to the properties panel. See, observe this one. Current row dot item of 1 dot toString plus, see, current row dot item of 2 dot toString. See, observe this one. In each and every row item in between I want to maintain some gap. Okay, so that's why I want to add double quotes plus operator. I want to add some space. See, right now click on that. OK, observe this one. I want to debug this. See, initially by using that read range activity I have read that Excel data stored in data table. From the data table itself, right now I am reading that row wise data. Observe this one, 101 x 45. Next, for each row is also called as a loop. So up to end of the row it will be repeated. Okay, successfully done. Okay, 10 rows of data, whatever that each and whatever the number of rows are there, each and every row read and display in that message box. See, right now I want to arrange that data in ascending order or descending order. See, if you want to arrange the data in ascending order and descending order, basically we have to implement lot of code. But here you have no need to write the code. Okay, here you have no need to write the code. Simply we can drag and drop that activity and simply just you have to pass the data table to them. So right now I will show you. Short data table is the activity. Short data table. Short data table is the activity. Right now, I want to remove this for each row activity. See, initially I'm reading the data from that Excel file. That data is stored in var dt is the data table. Right now, I want to arrange the data in ascending or descending order. Right now, short data table is the activity. Right now, short data table, drag and drop, drag and drop, go to the properties. See here, see, observe this one. Before sorting the data, just I want to display that uh, data in message box. See, that's why actually these steps no need, but I want to see, okay, whether the data is getting properly or not. That's why only I want to take that output data table and simply go to the properties. In this one, I want to give that var dt output is called as string. Okay, see, output is called as var string. Okay, it's okay. Right now, I want to display whatever the data is coming from Excel file immediately. I want to display in my message box. Okay, in my message, sorry, in my message box. Okay, right now I want to drag short data table is the activity, drag and drop. In this one, go to the properties. See, to arrange the data in ascending order and descending order, no need to write that lot of code. Okay, simply whatever the data in your data table, just you have to pass the data table here. Right now, var dt and output is also called as var dt. So input is called as data table, output is called as data table. Right now, observe this one. See, based on that column name or column index, I want to arrange the data in ascending order or descending order. See, I want to take that third column. Okay, based on the third column, because the third column is called as uh, third column contains that student total. So that's why based on that third column index, I want to arrange the data in ascending order or descending order. So as per the table, third column index is called as 2. Already we know that. So third column index is called as 2. Right now, click on that OK. See, here we have a order, either ascending order or descending order. Right now, I want to select that ascending order. Ascending order. See, observe this one. See, I want to check it whether it is properly arranged in ascending order or not. See, initially I stored the data in data table and it's so output purpose also I have used that same data table. So that's why what are the previous output data table and message box both I will repeat it in outside say after that a short data table activity. Control C, Control V. Okay. Right now click on the debug. Observe this one. This contains a 10 rows of data. It contains 10 rows of data. Okay, click on that OK. See, this is the original data. So it came from that Excel file itself. Okay, 101, 45, 102, like that. See, By using the short data table, I arranged the data in ascending order. See, observe this one, 110 y 21. So that means 10th row came to the top. Okay. So the total is only 21. See, observe this one. All the rows changed here. So click on that OK. So by using that output data table and message box, I am cross verifying whether it is shorted or not. Otherwise, no need of output data table and then message box. Okay, there is no need of output data table and message box. See, right now, once if you have done that uh, uh, one calculation, then finally you will check that result. So in that way only I want to check that output whether it is properly so arrange that in ascending order or descending order or not. So that's why only I have used this output data table and message boxes. Right now observe this. If you want to arrange the data in descending order, go to this properties and then select the descending. Right now click on the table, 10 rows. See here this time descending order. So 98 goes to the top and 97, that means 109, this row goes to the top. Okay, observe this one. It will change it for me for ascending. Right now I want to filter that rows, filter the data based on that condition. For example, so whoever having that above 60, only those students data only I wants to return it. So this time we have to apply that conditions. So if he wants to apply that condition, we have to use that filter data table is the activity. By using that filter data table activity, by using that filter data table activity, we can so filter the data based on that condition. Right now, observe this one. See, observe this one. As usual, I have taken the data from Excel itself, stored the data in data table. Just I have displayed here. Right now, I want to remove this short data table. In place of that, I want to drag filter data table. Filter data table is the activity and drag and drop here. Right now, here, go to the properties. In these properties, I want to pass that input is called as a data table var dt. Here we are not writing that logic. Every logic already they have implemented in this activity. Simply we are passing that inputs and then outputs. So I have passed that. So input is called as a data table and then output is also same data table I'm using. In case if you wants to use that any other new data table also, we can add it in this output property. Okay, right now both I have used that same. See, after filter here, first time in validity that is having that original data. After filtering the data, it is stored in this output property. Right now, right now, click on that configure filter. So here I want to give that column name. The column name is called as, see, I want to apply that condition on that. So student total, that is called as a column name. Yes, total. Yes, total greater than value is equal to I want to return that above 60.0. See, right now click on that. Okay. Observe this one. Whether it is successfully filtered or not, we will check it right now. Click on the debug. This is the original data. See, as per the condition, see above 60. That means how many rows available in this one? We have only 104th and 108, 109. Those three members total only above 60. Right now, once if I click on that OK, see it will be filters. After filtering the data, it displayed as per the condition above 60. So is above 60 only three members having that above 60. So that only displayed here. Okay. See here, no need to implement any logic. Click on that. Okay. Observe this. See, see. Right now, I want to add one extra column to my. I want to add one extra column to my data table. Actually, in my Excel file, I have it three columns. Okay, I have it three columns and 10 rows. See that after the storing the data in the data table, as usual, only three columns and 10 rows. The column names are student number, student name, student total. I want to add one more extra column that is called as average. This modification only applicable for only the data table, not in Excel. Okay, we are not say adding that extra column. We are not adding that extra column to that Excel. We are simply adding that one extra column to that data table. If you wants to add one extra column, if you wants to add one column to that data table, at that time we have to use that activity is called as add data column is the activity. So simply add data column. Okay, just I want to remove this one. Add data column, drag and drop, go to the properties. Here I want to give that input is called as data table and column name. I want to add that name of the column is called as yes average. S average, student average. See, the input is called as data table and column name is called as S average. See, observe this one. There is no output property to these activities. Okay, only we have a input property that is called as, see, column name is called as S average, and then so data table is, see, so input is called as validity. Okay, is the data table. See, I wants to debug this one. See, My table contains only three columns: SNO, SName, and S total. Click on that OK. Right now, it, it, it contains that one more extra column that is called as S average. See, one extra column added. Okay, this column only added to the data table, not for that Excel file. This point remind it. Click on that OK. Observe this. See, right now, based on the requirement, I have added one extra column. In the same way, I want to remove. See, by using that add data column, I have added one extra column. In the same way, so I want to remove one column from that data table itself. At that time, we have to use that activity is called as remove data column is the activity. Right now, save as, remove data column. Remove data column. See, right now, I want to delete this add data column and to take that activity is called as remove data column. See, observe this one. Go to the properties. In these properties, see, actually my table contains three columns. So based on the requirement, whatever the column if you wants to delete, that column index or column name, just you have to add it. I want to remove that middle column. Middle, actually in my table, student number, student name, and student total. Right now, I want to remove that middle column. That means student name. Observe this one. See, second column index is called as 1. Column, okay, no need of name. Okay, data table is called as var dt. Is called as a data table. Var dt is called as a data table. Click on that. See, observe this one. Student number, student name, student total. Okay. So right now, I'm removing that middle column as name. Click on that OK. So remove data column activity, remove that middle column from that data table itself. Observe this one. Click on that OK. See, I have added one extra column and I have removed that same extra column. In the same way, I want to add that one extra row. I want to add one extra row from that end of the row itself. Right now, if you want to add one extra row, we have to use that activity is called as, add data row is the activity. See, I will show you right now. Save as, add data row. Here, I want to add that one activity, add data Row is the activity. See, go to the properties. See here, in this input we have three properties. One is array of row, data row, and data table. If you are getting the row from any other source itself directly, you can use that data row. Right now, I want to use that. I'm not getting data from any other source itself, so that's why I'm using that array of row. So click here, and then right now, triple one, comma, double quotes, XYZ, comma, 450. Triple one XYZ 450. Click on that. OK. This is called as var dt. So array of row and then data table var dt. I will check it whether it is successfully added or not. So click on the debug. There is having the 10 rows. Okay. By using that add data row, I'm adding one extra row that is called as triple one XYZ. Okay, like that. Click on that. OK. Triple one XYZ 450. Triple one XYZ 450. Click on that. OK. See, in the same way, based on the requirement, I want to remove one data row. Save as. Remove data row activity. See, right now, I want to give that input is called as var dt. I want to give that index is called as 5. Index 5 in the sense it will be remove that sixth row. That means already we know that. See, row index will start from 0, ends with n minus 1. So fifth, I have given that index is called as 5. So that's why it will be remove that sixth row. Observe this one. Here we have here 10 rows. So as per the index, I have given that index is 5. So first row index is called as 0. Second row index is called as 1. Next is 2, 3, 4, 5. 106 will be removed from this data table itself. Click on that OK. 106 removed from here. Click on that OK. Do you have any doubts here? Okay. I want to give that one use case. Just I want to give that one simple use case. Here people try to complete that one. Okay. See. Just you people, you have to prepare one Excel sheet like this. Okay, this is the Excel sheet. Just you have to prepare one sheet. See, read that each and every student data, that means subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, and find the total, update it here. And then after updating the total, find that average and update it in this average field. Finally, status. So if the average is above 35, then simply update the status is called as so pass. Okay. In case average is below 35, simply the status is called as failed, like that. See, in the same way, second row, update the total, update the average. That means find the total and update it, find that average, update it, and then find that status. See, initially, no need to uh, um, okay. Initially, you people directly uh, prepare the Excel data. Then this calculation only you have to done by bot. Okay. See, total, average, and status, that you have to update it. This use case you people try to implement it right now. See, this is one use case. Another use case. See, here, observe this one. Take one Excel file. Here we have only SNO, S name, and S total. There is no data. Okay. In every execution, just you have to take one student data at runtime. That data you have to update it in this Excel file. That means in the first execution, you have to update 101 and then XYZ and then 456. Okay. Once if you execute the same use case again, this time the data must be update from the next row itself. That means 102. So every time you have to take that input at runtime. That I have to remind it. So PQR and then 478. Again, next execution, you have to add one more row. That row must be added from that. Already we have added two rows. From the end of the row itself, next row must be added here. Don't overwrite that. Okay, that you have to remind it. Right now, I want to remove this. Just read. This is the second use case. These two use cases you people try to practice. Okay.